Now, for a lot of us, Storm Eleanor came and gone on the 2nd and 3rd of January, but for a coastal town in Hampshire, the remnants of it is still very much about. Until now. I caught up with Mr. Brian Sims from Emsworth, who claims it took the council weeks to take notice of his calls.
I was away, in fact, on the 2nd of January when the great storm hit the south coast. And apparently the water came right up past this house, about 100 metres further on up the road. When I came back on the 6th, I arrived back in the country. As I drove down the road, I realised that I couldn't get into my driveway because there was this huge, great conglomeration of seaweed across the road blocking it. So that was really the first time. But obviously some of our neighbours had already seen it and started the efforts to try and get it cleared away because it was pretty problematic.
Moving the seaweed themselves proved too great a task for the residents of King Street.
I mean, I'm in my early 70s. I went out there with a shovel and a spade and tried moving this stuff. And the problem was there is so much of it that, number one, what do you do with it? We didn't have the facilities short of hiring a van to come and take the whole lot away. But also it was starting to become very hard and stuck to the road. And there was just sheer scale of it. There was so much of it that people around here, and most of the people here are in their late 60s, early 70s, said, if it was a small amount, yes, we could. But goodness, this is beyond us. We just need some help.
The washed up algae hasn't just been an eyesore, but an obstruction too.
The smell came when dogs started to use it as a lavatory. And gradually, as the rains come back, it stopped that smell, fortunately. But the real problem was the fact that there was so much seaweed that as cars tried to come round here, and as you know, there's a turning coming into the right, just before the water here, and lorries, refuse vans, they were pushing this mass of seaweed into positions that then blocked it for everybody else. And then another car would come in, move that, and it became just a game of like musical chairs almost. And it was way beyond the means of anybody with ordinary shovels and forks to go out there and move this lot.
Brian believes if he hadn't got in touch with the local press, he'd still be waiting for action.
During the last week, 10 days, I've made 8 logged calls to Havant Council asking for help. And I know other people have. The lady who runs the Residents Association's been on the phone to them. So many people have tried to ask for help and nothing's happened. We've been pushed from pillar to post. Nobody would really take responsibility for this. And in the end, I thought, right, we need some help from the media. On the Monday morning, I had a phone call from the council to say that somebody would be coming to move the seaweed. Nothing happened. We then got another email saying it's so much seaweed there, we need a specialist lorry and team to come in to do it. 2 o'clock, this company Norse South East arrived, 2 trucks, I think there were about 5 or 6 workmen, shovels, forks. They battled for 2 hours to move this. This is the stuff we were expected to move ourselves. They battled, and it was because it was so thick and heavy that you just couldn't move this stuff. And then eventually this morning they came for the second time and delighted to say that we've got a clear road now and let's just wait for the next storm.
From now clear King Street and Emsworth, Charles Way Palmer for That's TV.